What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Baseball Rundown. It's been a hot minute since Coach Raz and I have been back, but we are back today, and we got a lot to talk about. We're going to recap the entire fall, the Bonnie Bowl. It was an exciting finish. That was a really good series where Team Holcraft took the Bonnie Bowl. Also, the renovations had begun at Handler Park, and then we're also just going to recap the overall fall season, and it is also signing day, Coach. So a lot of new recruits. It's going to be a fun episode. I'm looking forward to it.
Today's the big day. We've got a lot of letters out there and getting them signed and sent back, and start doing some some press releases here this afternoon. But it's been fun. It's been a really good, and I know we'll dig into it a little bit, but we've worked really hard on this recruiting class. It's a very talented class, and it would be a lot better if we could get Saturday's big visit committed, because we had a big one here Saturday. So, hopefully, things come together here a little bit, and, we're excited to kind of announce these guys they're going to be joining us next year. You
meant a literal big one too, right? I think you put out the height out there.
No,
that wasn't that one.
No. That one's done, so that one's in.
Oh, perfect.
This one's a big one. A power 4 decommit. Number one in the state that he comes from. So,
all right,
he had a good visit here Saturday, doing basketball game, and we actually had a little video made up for him from Adam Scheffler and stuff like that. So it's good. We gave him the full Bonnet experience. I think he got a burger at the Burton. Went to the men's hoop game. Got to meet Big Joe. So it was a good day.
That's good.
Day. So yeah,
we love that. I mean that's Joe Grahovic had a video made from Adam Schefter. Look, he's here. He's doing great things. So.
It's almost identical.
Yeah.
In fact, they're all from the same state too.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was cool. It's cool when we have somebody on campus and there's a home game going on, and especially on like a weekend where they can kind of get the atmosphere that this place produces sometimes. And I think that people don't necessarily realize how lucky we are to have that. There's a lot of schools in this state, that, if you may go on a visit and they're not, they may have, better facilities or more money or things like that. But, you take them out to a game and experience the home atmosphere. I think we have something that's a little different than most places. So
it's a feel thing. I think it's really like the family community. I mean, the Franciscan values here, like, this place is something special, and it's so hard to put into words. You just have to experience it.
You do, and I think that's the best way to do it, is just like, you try to explain it a little bit before they come on a visit, and then when they have a full day like he had on Saturday, where you're, visiting with us and doing the tour in the morning, going to the Burton, getting some lunch, getting ready for a game, and, when they left the Burton, it was shoulder to shoulder in there. Like, it was packed, and then, you go to the Raskeller here on campus and check things out, and get to go to the game. And now Barstool's been around Olean, featuring some of our restaurants around here. So you get to go to one of those historic restaurants that we have, and it's cool, man. And I think for a big recruit like this, I think even he was like overwhelmed of how awesome this place is and how special it is. So
yeah, for sure. Well, definitely be looking forward to see that news hopefully come out. But let's talk about the Bonnie Bowl, because that's how the fall season ended just about 2 weeks ago. And Team Holcraft, Chris Holcraft's team, won the Bonnie Bowl. It was an exciting finish. Like, it really came down.
It was the best Bonnie Bowl we've had.
Yeah, for sure.
It was. It was very competitive. Team Cordero ended up going out and winning the game one, and kind of put the senior Chris Holcraft on watch there a little bit. So, yeah, it was great. It came down to the last game, and it was really, Cordero had the lead in run differential, but Holcraft had won the skins, the golf skins, for most innings won. So game 3, the only thing that mattered was the final score to win the series because, if Antonio's team won, they already had the run differential. And then if Chris's team won, they already had the skins. So it was really cool that it came down to that. And, it was funny, like out of the gate for game 3, I had asked them who they were throwing. And Cordero had Tristan Champa left, who's, a senior, experienced, tough.
Yeah.
One of our better arms. And Chris had Jack Kelly going, who's, a freshman. Never really put pressure on him yet. And before the game, I'm thinking, oh, boy, this is it's a tough matchup pitching-wise when you got a young kid who doesn't really understand what's going on. And, then you got a senior who's a bulldog. And the freshman showed out, man. He went out there. Jack Kelly went out and gave Chris a chance to win, having really good first 3 innings. And Tristan actually ended up giving up a couple runs. So it was just cool to see these guys be put in different situations. And honestly, the biggest thing that I noticed after it was all said and done was Team Cordero's team was genuinely like upset. Like they were mad that they lost. Like it was like you could see it in their face. Like, damn, we just, and like, and for me, it was like, yes, like it hurts, like I want to see more of that. I want losing to hurt. And it was good to see this group kind of show that in what is, for the most part, a meaningless series. It's just the end of the fall, so it's not anything that's going to be a permanent record. But they cared. And I think when we started doing evaluations and things like that with guys, the end of the fall evaluations, that was one of the biggest things that I noticed is that these guys, they want to win.
Yeah.
Like they're focused on winning, which is great. It's definitely Holcraft had said it in his meeting with us. Like the atmosphere, the environment is just different this year.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way. Just being down on the field, like the guys were so invested. You heard the chirping that you would hear during a regular game, just having fun out there. But they're also very serious and they want to win. And you could just really see it when you're down at the field, especially in the new seats at Handler Park. You can feel that tension.
Yeah. No, it's a great way to end our fall. I really love it. And it's a lot of fun and seeing these guys go out there and finish the fall strong and compete. And it was a good fall, man. I always tell people that, like when we were discussing the turf replacement and some of the field things that still had to be done, there was talk about pulling up the turf at the beginning of September and kind of hoping it would get done so we could get fall in. And, it was a big thing for me to, let our administration know, like, fall ball is the most important time that I have with these guys. Like, it's where we really get a chance to put them in situations and be ready for the spring. Like, and I feel really good about the knowledge of our guys and what they can do. And, I feel really prepared for the spring because of our fall ball. So, yeah, it was a great fall.
Yeah, no, it was a great Bonnie Bowl. I remember, game 2 was electric. Derek Duval closes it out, had the go-ahead run at the plate, I think, and was able to get the job done.
The whole series could have ended with one swing of the bat.
In game 2, right?
If Antonio hit a home run there, the series was over. So it literally came down to one at bat. The whole thing could have been over. And then, a day later, Chris is winning it. So
yeah, just crazy. I'm just looking at the fall as a whole. I know you guys do. We've talked about the quality at bats category here. I think Chris Holcraft won that this year. He just had a great fall. He's bound to have a great senior season. Had a great junior season, and I feel like he's kind of been like the heart and soul of this team. And I think if Chris is playing his best baseball, this team's in a really good spot.
I agree. He's been the most consistent now. I think we talked about it on the last podcast, but he's starting to stack seasons, right? So, like, he had a huge when he first got here as a freshman, he had a good fall. He struggled in the spring a little bit. That summer, he struggled a little bit. Came back in the fall, his sophomore year, had a good fall. Spring was better, but still not breakout, had a huge summer, came back as a junior last year, had a huge fall, then had a huge spring, then had another huge summer. Now it's another, so like he's starting to stack these seasons back to back, and he is our leader, man. He is definitely the heartbeat of this team, and I wouldn't have wanted to pick a better lead. He's such a great kid, and he's been here with me since the first day, so I love Chris, man. I really do, and I'm going to miss him a lot next year, but I want to really try to enjoy every minute I have with him this year.
Yeah, I remember talking to Chris one night, and I was like, yo, Chris, like, you got to come back for a fifth year. He's like, man, gosh forbid a kid just wants to play 4 years of college baseball. Why has there got to be a fifth? Just joking around. But also got to shout out Alex Ebenstreet. The outfielder went 7 for 11 with 4 doubles and a diving catch in the outfield. And he was the Bonnie Bowl MVP for this year. So definitely another big reason why Team Holcraft got the job done.
Well, he's, talent-wise, I don't know if we have anybody more talented, being as big as he is, as fast as he is for his size, and as smooth as he is for his size. I think that's a big thing. Like when you get really big guys, sometimes it's a little quirky and, uncoordinated. He is not that. Like he's just smooth. His swing smooth, plays a really good defense, got a good arm. It's just the end of the day for Heebs. It's about the numbers. Like what are the numbers producing? Because the talent's there. And I think that last year was his chance to kind of play more regularly, and he, struggled a little bit with the numbers part. But I think he's showing that paid off a little bit this fall, and he much more confident and he had 7 doubles and led us in doubles this fall.
Even Scout Day, the
367,
the highest exit velo off the bat of anybody, and not by just a small amount. He hit a ball at one point 109 miles an hour. The next closest was 100.
Freak. Yeah, he's a freak. No doubt about it. So he's one of those guys that could end up going out there and playing every day for us if he gets hot and starts producing those numbers. But he had a great Bonnie Bowl and deserving of the MVP.
Yeah. Also got to shout out Connor Wolf. He threw very well in the Bonnie Bowl. He went 3 innings. I think he only get 1 earned run, but his first 2 innings, he worked back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings. So definitely got to shout out the senior, the lefty, and threw pretty well in the Bonnie Bowl. But, yeah, just to kind of conclude the Bonnie Bowl, just overall as a team in the fall, for the fall recap, who kind of stuck out to you that you were unsure of coming into the year and could really play a role come the springtime?
I think it was more about guys that we hoped would fill roles that absolutely made it concrete with us. Guys that we had hoped that were going to be really good players were able to come out and have really good falls and kind of assure us that we made the right decision. Chris may have won the quality at bats, but he didn't hit for the highest average. That was Manny Castro, who hit 425. And Manny's one of those guys. It's like, I really like this kid. What's the adjustment going to be like going from a junior college to here? How fast will it take? And it took him a couple weeks. I think at first he was trying to do a little too much, but man, he settled right in, and he played a great defense all fall. Was absolutely awesome defensively, and then the bat really got hot and, just established himself as our everyday third baseman now. It's going to be tough to take him out of the lineup. So, Manny led us in batting average. Right on his heels with the most home runs for the fall was Joey Calabretti, right?
He batted 421 this fall.
Yeah, 421 with 3
also
home runs.
Led all pitchers in strikeouts.
Yeah.
Doing it on both sides.
Yeah, led us in slugging. He slugged 763. And then Chris was there at 372. But then, Chris Florentino is a freshman for us that we liked a lot. He tore his Achilles his senior year, and so he missed his whole senior year. And he was as a junior, was first team All-State. So we knew he was a talented kid, but man, when someone tears that, you're worried about his recovery. And,
Right.
he came out this fall and not 100%, but was able to swing the bat a little bit, and speed's his biggest asset. And he wasn't able to really display that and still hit 385. So, it was good to see a freshman have a big fall. We talked about Alex Keaton Street hitting 367. Connor Vercoloni is Connor, hit over 300, couple bombs, six doubles. One thing I was excited to see about Connor was the strikeouts reduced a lot this fall, and he had a lot of walks. He's actually 6 walks, 7 strikeouts, so that was really good.
That's
to see
big from him.
Yeah. And then we have a bunch of other guys that had moments. Anthony Fernandez hit 300, and Christian Lamoth, another freshman that we like a lot, was near the 290 mark, and Ashton Ross was 290, and so we hit more home runs this fall than we did last fall. We had way better batting average this fall than we had last fall, and this was a team that broke the home run record.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
So, yeah, really, really happy with the hitters and our ability to kind of do different things and have some depth. I feel really good about our offense for sure. But, the fall was good for our pitchers too. I think the guys that we thought were going to be, really important for us have proved that. Derek Duval was awesome this fall. David James was awesome. I mean, when you start, striking out more innings than you're throwing, and you're walking is 3 guys in multiple innings, like we had 12-3 strikeout to walk ratio for Duval, 13-4 strikeout to walk ratio for David James, Champa 12-4. You start having guys with those kinds of splits. That's what we're looking for. We want to be able to attack guys. So even the pitching staff, like they had a decent fall. So, yeah, it was a great fall.
Who do you think might kind of emerge as some of your starting pitchers? Because obviously that's always up in the air. Sometimes you'll have a starter throw on a Tuesday, and then something happens where he has to throw one of the weekend starts. But if you could pick 3 to 4 starters right now, who do you think would kind of emerge?
I think that after the fall, we decided that we need to give the ball to David James on Friday. He's was a starter for us last year for most of the season. We did move him to the bullpen towards the end of the year just because he'd thrown more innings last year than he's ever thrown. But he looks better this year, more smooth. Definitely just a better pitcher this year. So I think he's the guy we need to give the ball to on Fridays. Saturday and Sunday, it's we're not sure yet. I think that's what the first few weekends will be to kind of figure that out. I'm not opposed to using Derek Duval out in the rotation. I think that he can close and be a multi-inning type of guy for us too. But I know Champa can do that. So, I think maybe we'll start with Tristan at the back end at the beginning of the year and maybe give Derek a start early. Nolan Feet is somebody we really like a lot talent-wise. I think he offers us a lot. And obviously Joey Calabretti is another guy that's in that mix to start. And, the dark horse would be the freshman, Jack Kelly. I mean, he just
had a
fall.
1.5 ERA in the fall.
Just all fall kept rising up the board. We just kept climbing where he's, up near the top now. So I think those guys are guys that we think are all competing for rotation spots. But I think we have some options.
Yeah, of course. And when James Capilupo comes back,
it's going to be slow for him, though.
Yeah, of course.
James has pitched out of the bullpen his freshman year and did it a little bit last year, too. I just think with his build-up, he's going to be 1 inning early, 2 innings week 2. It's going to take time. I probably see him more out of the bullpen this year. Mm-hmm. But always a possibility for sure.
Yeah. All right. We'll keep things moving down the list. If you could set one goal for 2026 season, what would that be and why?
Same goal we've had since I got here. Just got to get back to the A10 tournament. Mm-hmm. I think that's there's so many good things that we can sell about the program right now and the things that we've done in a short amount of time, right? Like having the highest draft pick we've ever had, improving our win total each of the first 3 years here, improving our team GPA each of the first 3 years here, setting the home run record, setting the strikeout record, having guys back on the all-conference team. Like, there is a lot of momentum right now. The next step for us is getting into that tournament. We got to make the tournament. I'm not saying we got to go in there and win it, which would be great. That's a career dream for me. So, you get a chance to go to a regional. That's something that would be very, very special. But I just want to get in the A-10 tournament and go compete. That's what I really want to do. I want these guys to have a taste of it because I think this 2-year window is very exciting for our program. So if we can get there this year, get that experience, and then carry that momentum into next year, I think we'll be in a really good spot. But listen, it's a long year. A lot of injuries can happen. A lot of different, scenarios can pop up. So you never know. We may go into that tournament really hot and win the whole thing. So who knows? But that's the goal. We want to get back to the A-10s.
Yeah, I love it. All right, and then we will wrap up here. It is today when we're recording this is signing day. This won't release for a few more days. So, Coach, I'm going to just give it to you, and you can announce these recruits that have been signed.
All right. We'll start from the top. Excited to welcome Austin Sipe. The name may sound familiar because his cousin Tommy Sipe was the one who started this podcast with me. So Austin is a very physical, big outfielder with legitimate power. He runs really well. He's got a strong arm, but there's some serious juice in his bat. An athlete. His father's a high school soccer coach. Obviously a really good family. So excited to have him join us. I think that he could honestly push for some time as a freshman. He's a really talented kid. Sean Munzer, local kid out of Buffalo, a catcher with a really strong arm, power bat. There's some development that's got to happen there for sure, but I've got 2 really good catchers on the coaching staff. So, we'll put that on them to get him ready and develop him. But there's tools there, power tool, really strong arm. Cole Lombardo is a shortstop that we were very high on. Chased him for a while. He had a lot of big visits, and we ended up landing him. I think he's a kid that can compete in the middle infield at a young age. I wouldn't be surprised to see him come in and fight for some time next year. With Chris graduating, we'll have 3 senior infielders. So to have a freshman come in and, kind of work him into that mix is the perfect scenario for us. Marcus Brem is a junior college transfer from Finger Lakes Community College. He's somebody that we've had our eye on for a little bit. Had a really big freshman year, huge summer, multi-positional kid. Plays short for Finger Lakes, very fast, but could play the outfield, second base, third base. We think there's a couple different things that he could do on the field. And then we got a whole bunch of arms. Left-handed pitcher Austin Allen out of Pennsylvania, probably our smoothest arm. Just smooth mechanics, fills the zone, competes. An upper 80s guy right now. Right-handed pitcher out of the Philadelphia area, Mayor Rupertus, is a specimen. This kid, I wouldn't be surprised when he gets here in a short amount of time. He's thrown 93, 94. I mean, he is just a beast. Kyle Mandalora is a junior college kid who is recovering from Tommy John, so he's actually not pitching this year. But as a freshman, he was their best pitcher. He was their ace at Monroe, where we got Anthony Fernandez from. He is a PA kid, too, which is nice. But he dominated as a freshman as a left-handed pitcher. And I think this surgery has made him even a little bit more serious about his craft and his preparation.
Right.
So he'll actually have 3 years here, which is great, as a junior college kid. Then we got Sean Spiteri, is a kid out of Jersey, a dual kid.
That's actually right near my hometown. I just looked him up.
Really?
Yes, Glen Rock, always a very good baseball team in Jersey.
So I think his dad is the high school coach.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So there you go. I miss playing against them, but the year after I graduated, our team was like the 16 seed playing them in the first round, and they were the 1 seed. We almost got it done.
Wow.
Lost 5-4, but
so
that is funny.
He's another kid. He's a left-handed hitting catcher, but he's a pitcher first. Another kid that's coming off arm surgery. So he had a lot of offers before surgery, and teams kind of got scared off. But he's back on the bump, high 80s, physical kid, competitor. Liked him a lot when we met him. Bennett DiCarlo would be our last commitment that we've got going on today. He's the 6'7" pitcher that we referenced in our cryptic tweets last night. Big, tall, physical kid who, has run it up to 94. So out of Virginia. So he loved his visit and really enjoyed his time here. So, another arm that we're kind of leaning on to be somebody that we can develop here, and really happy with the way that this recruiting class is shaping out. And it's addressed some needs for us where we needed to get a little younger offensively. We needed to get a little younger on the mound and start developing some of these freshmen. So, it was a really good class to kind of fit our needs, and hopefully, I think we're going to add probably 5 to 6 more guys when it's all said and done. But with the roster limits, we need to leave a few spots open in the spring, just because we'll get 1 or 2 portal kids, but we won't save a bunch of spots.
Right. For sure.
But it's a good class. We're excited about them.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the year, Coach. It's going to be a good one. I have really good.
You got a gut feeling.
I just have the feeling.
All right.
This is going to be the last one for the fall. But then when we come back in the spring, it's going to be weekly episodes once the season gets underway. I'm really, really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great year. I got that gut feeling, Coach.
All right. Me too. I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's a fun group to be around. The parents have been great. The guys have been great. Really feel good about our coaching staff. Obviously, there's a lot of excitement with the facilities going on. So there's a lot of reasons to jump on board right now because, things are going in the right direction, and we're excited. We're pumped up for the spring, and it'll be good to get back on here with you. But, yeah, it's a good fall. Thanks for doing these again this fall. And,
of course.
We'll keep it going.
All right, well, we appreciate you guys tuning in for the fall. We'll talk to you guys in the spring when Bonnie's baseball gets underway in 2026. All right, we appreciate you guys. This was the Baseball Rundown brought to you by the Bonnie's Online Network. Have a good week, everybody.